My name is Krista Vernoff. I'm an executive producer and I'm the head writer of the television show Grey's Anatomy. And I was on summer staff at Omega from the summers of basically 90 through 95. I had gone to college to study acting, and I started studying writing while I was at Omega, and I found that writing was more my calling, more my truth than acting. And recently I was invited to come back here and teach the staff. And when asked what I would want to talk to the staff about, what I came up with was that I think it's so important to talk about making a living from your art, because I've been blessed to be able to do that. And what I notice is that artists are sort of systematically discouraged in our society. And what I mean by that is, if you say you want to be an artist, if you're in high school, you're about to graduate, you say, hey, I think I want to be an artist, I want to be an actress, I want to be a screenwriter, I want to be a dancer, I want to be a poet. Everybody, the artists you know, the people who love you and the people who don't, everybody says, oh, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. You know, are you gonna have something to fall back on? Are you gonna, you're gonna maybe get a degree in something else? That's lovely, but it's hard. Here's what I think is hard. These people who decide they want to be doctors go to undergraduate for 4 years, and then they do something like 7 years of medical school. They do 4 years of medical school, and then they have to do residency for 3 or 4 years in fellowship. And they become a doctor, they become a surgeon, and they go to work, and they have a bad day. On a bad day, they kill somebody. And they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. And on their next bad day, they might kill somebody again and lose their malpractice insurance and never get to practice medicine. All that education. That is hard. Going to work and having a bad day and killing somebody because you made a mistake with the math, that's hard. But what does everybody say to you when you say you want to be a doctor? Awesome. Awesome. That's amazing. Go you. You have the grades for that? Like, you're going to go straight to medical school? You're going to be pre-med? Great. And I think that if we could reframe this notion of hard, artists we wouldn't have to feel like, by making the decision to bring our God-given gifts and talents down into our everyday life, by making the decision to commit to our art for a living, if we can reframe this notion of what's easy and what's hard, we wouldn't feel like we had to suffer. We wouldn't feel like we had to suffer for our art. We could let go of that notion. We could let go of that commitment, the commitment to suffering, and we could just commit to thrive the way people who decide to be doctors and lawyers. There's just a psychological or a psychic, a spiritual notion that you're going to thrive. Why can't artists have that too? What has happened in our society that we're so discouraged? I think it's about changing our minds and changing our language and changing our idea of what's easy and what's hard. And I also think that these doctors in training spend 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 hours a day committed to their learning for somewhere between 8 and 12 years. If we artists spent that kind of time, what could we create? If we had that kind of commitment. But so often we don't, because we feel like, what's the point? It's hard. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make a living. I'm going to have a fallback job. It's too hard. So it's this weird combination of, it's like we go into our artistic life from a place of defeat, where we don't expect success and therefore we don't create it. And I don't think it has to be that way.